I keep tabs on the Miami Heat. I keep tabs on what's going on and who's saying what and what's going down. And I look at the Miami Heat Twitter, and I watch some of the podcasts, and I read through the comments. And I gotta be honest, the sentiment amongst quote-unquote Heat Nation or Heat culture or whatever it's called, whatever you want to call it, I gotta be honest, there's a lot of negative Nancy's, a lot of Debbie Downers lately. And being the contrarian that I am and the weird, dark times that we're living in right now, I want to be a little optimistic here, okay? Some may say delusional. Let's say delusionally optimistic. I want to be delusional about the Miami Heat. It's fun to be a little bit delusional about the team you like. You gotta be. You gotta believe in your team. Maybe my next video, I'll be extremely cynical and pessimistic about the Miami Heat, just to offer up some negative stuff. I want to make a positive video on the Miami Heat because, I honestly, I read through comments and all this stuff, and people seem to be like really, really down. And I don't know, I take a step back and I look at the Eastern Conference and I think to myself, are the Heat really going to be that bad with how weird the Eastern Conference is? So let's talk about the Eastern Conference real quick before we get to the Heat. The Eastern Conference is weird. Obviously, the Celtics are without Jason Tatum. The Pacers are without Tyrese Halliburton. The Bucks, after Giannis, that's kind of a weird roster. They're in a weird spot. The Sixers, who the hell knows what's going on with them, with Paul George and Embiid. They're in a weird place. And then, of course, you have the three teams that everybody's pretty hyped on, including me. I get it. Magic, the Hawks, and the Pistons. After that, most people would say that the 1 and 2 seed is going to be the Cavs and the Knicks. So call me crazy, but I don't think it's that impossible for the Miami Heat to, be in like 6th place. When you really look at these teams and then you look at the Heat, I don't know, man. I don't think they're going to be all that bad. And now, why do I think this? Well, remember here, being a little on the delusional side, really, really optimistic here, but we have 4 all-star caliber players now. You have Bam, who's been an all-star, Olympic gold medalist. Tyler, his best season last year, he was an all-star. Andrew Wiggins, I know. Andrew Wiggins, he's been a weird the last few years. He's kind of an enigmatic guy. But remember, he was an all-star in 2022 on a team that won a championship. And then, of course, you have Norman Powell, who a lot of people, me included, I've always been a big Norman guy, had his best season last year. What did he average? 22 a game and shot great from 3 and the whole 9 yards. A lot of people said that he should have been an all-star last year. So that's 4 all-star caliber players on the roster. I think another big factor that could really, really help this team is the psychological standpoint of having all of the Jimmy Butler drama behind everyone now. From the players to the organization and everyone. They went into that season last year with that looming over their head. They kicked the can down the road with the whole situation. It got ugly. All the drama started and lasted for months with, Jimmy essentially quitting on his team. He let it spill onto the court. He wasn't trying. All the off-court drama, all the suspensions, all that stuff. That's got to really be soul-sucking for a team. And that lasted from November, December, all the way through March, April, however long that lasted. That's finally done. So you're getting to start a new season, blank slate, new page, you're turning a new leaf, Jimmy's gone, and the Warriors, they have their own problems with the whole, whatever's going on with that Jonathan Kuminga debacle. But the Heat are starting on a clean slate, which must be really, really refreshing. And speaking of a fresh start and clean slate and turning a new leaf and all that stuff, Spo, especially Spo, because think about the last few years. That guy has been going nonstop. What was the timeline? 22-23, you have a finals run. You're playing deep into June. He goes from that right into coaching FIBA.
You go from that right into the 22 or 23-24 season. You go from that right into coaching the Olympics. You go from that right into the train wreck of last season, dealing with all the Jimmy drama. He also went through a divorce, and now finally, after years, he finally gets a summer off to collect himself, to relax, to recuperate, get his energy back. So Spo also is coming into this season with, hopefully a very, very fresh mindset. Now, real quick, I just want to touch upon each player on the roster and be delusionally optimistic about them. And one thing I've noticed is that so many players on the roster this year are in a very unique position in their career. They're either new to the team, or they're at a crossroads in their career, or they need to redeem themselves, or they need to prove themselves, or they're in a new chapter of their career, something like that. It's very interesting. So real quick, let's just touch upon each player for a few seconds. Bam! Guy was an all-star, Olympic champion, a gold medalist, the whole 9 yards. Didn't have a good season last year. Everyone was overall pretty disappointed. Maybe he was burnt out, maybe it was the Jimmy stuff. So Bam is in a position, remember, he's the captain of the team. So we hold Bam to pretty high standards. So Bam hopefully is poised for a bounce-back season and is going to really play with the chip on his shoulder, hopefully get a lot more shots off, be more aggressive, be assertive, be a badass, Bam. Tyler, all-star last year, he improved in every place in all of his stats. Can Tyler recreate that success? And if he does recreate that success, can it result in winning? Can Tyler be the guy? Is Tyler the man? He's got some extension contract thing coming up, so he's going to be very motivated to play. But teams are really going to be coming after him, all right? So there's Tyler, also in a unique position. Here's another guy, Jovic. Had a pretty solid summer league for Serbia. Was after Jokic was one of the best guys on the team. And he's 22 now. So it's kind of getting to the point now where we can't keep saying, oh, he's so young, oh, he's so young. Like, you're 22. You're kind of, you've been around a while now. So will this be his breakout year? A lot of other YouTubers I see and articles I read, people are pretty hyped and excited for him to have a breakout year this year. We'll see. Will he start? I don't know. With Jovic, you got to let Jovic be Jovic. This is a 6'10" guy that likes to get an outlet pass, get a rebounds, and push the ball. Don't stuff him into a corner. You got to let him be free, let him operate. This is a season where no one has any expectations for this team. Let these guys play, figure it out, figure out a dynamic, but unleash Jovic. Norman Powell, love this guy. Got him for next to nothing. Tough, gritty. I feel like he'll fit well on this team. The question with him is, can he pick up where he left off on the Clippers? Had one of his best seasons last year. A lot of people said he should have been an all-star. I also want Norm to be aggressive. I don't want him to fall into this like passive facilitative thing. Be aggressive. Shoot. Everybody shoot. Run. Gun. Shoot. Play with confidence. And another thing with Norm, in a position where he's turning a new leaf, he's on a new team. Kel'el Ware, coming into his sophomore year, interesting trajectory last season. Started off not really getting much playing time to becoming a starter. One of the more compelling rookies in the league last year. But he's still very raw, very rough around the edges. His motor and determination and grittiness and all that stuff is still in question. Had a rough summer league. A lot of people weren't happy with it. One thing I noticed about Kel'el Ware is he has that tattoo, the Humble Beast tattoo. The humble stuff, leave it off the court. Be humble off the court. Be a nice guy off the court. Great. On the court, tap into the beast side. Be a beast on the court. I've seen the blocks. I've seen the lobs. I've seen all that stuff. But it's like the small things he needs to work on. The intangible things. The things that don't necessarily make the highlights. That's what Kel'el Ware needs to improve on. Davion. Man, everybody loves Davion. Awesome pickup. Vastly exceeded expectations when he came to the Heat last year. Man, before I started recording this, I went and rewatched his highlights against the Hawks in the play-in game, specifically that overtime performance. Absolutely killing Trae Young. Man, you talk about a guy that embodies Heat culture. Davion, will he be able to pick up where he left off last season and continue his success? another guy opening a new chapter to his career. Wiggins, another guy, new chapter in his career. He's in a new conference. He has a fresh, clean slate on a new team. I said this before. I can't really figure him out. We all see the potential. Can he consistently give us that potential where we see him truly playing at a high level? Can we make it consistent? Now, there's also the stuff, potential trade talks between us and the Lakers with Wiggins. People are saying we might get like Dalton Connect for him. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen with that? Pelle Larsson, that's another guy that a lot of people have very high hopes for this season. The word is that he is probably going to be in the rotation a lot more than last season. He was very good in Eurobasket, averaged 19 points per game, 4 or 5 rebounds a game, about 3 assists, shot 46% from the field. The only bad thing is that it was not good from 3. I think he shot 26% from 3. And I don't know if Pelle is ever going to be a real knockdown 3-point shooter. He doesn't really seem, Jaime too, they don't really seem to have just that good of a touch on their shot. They just shoot the ball like too damn hard. But on defense, how tough, how athletic, physical he is, getting downhill, I like him. And he was definitely the best player on the Summer League team. I know too. Take all the Eurobasket and Summer League stuff with a grain of salt, but still, it's worth talking about. Pelle, like I said, a lot of people have high hopes for him this year. Will he live up to those expectations? Jaime's another one. Very, very unique position. Remember, his rookie year, after Wemby and Chet, I mean, there was a time where after Wemby and Chet, Jaime was like the 3rd best rookie in the league. I think he was all rookie first team, I'm pretty sure. Everybody remembers how great he was his rookie year, and then had a bad sophomore slump. He was dealing with some injuries. I saw word recently that some of the Heat staff weren't really happy with him. Maybe the success of his rookie year went to his head, and I see him on all these commercials now, and it's like, I don't know, dude, I see you on these like stupid commercials, but are you working on your jump shot? I hope so. But I did see him in my previous video that no one watched. It's totally fine. But when I was talking about the Rico Hines Summer League, the second one that Rico uploaded this summer, Jaime was absolutely killing it. He was really, really looking good. So check that video. If I remember, I'll put it in the comments. But Jaime was really, really looking good. Simone Fontecchio. A lot of Heat fans are not really all that hyped on him, and I don't really know why. There's a reason that Kevin Durant was trying to recruit him to the Suns, and he was pretty much the best player in the Eurobasket Italian team this year. He averaged 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, shot 39% from 3. He had an Italian record of 39 points one game, and I know it was against like Bosnia-Herzegovina, but still, 39 points is 39 points. It's pretty awesome. Big, athletic dude, 6'8", 6'9", he can shoot, and he could be the kind of guy where maybe he plays 15, 18 minutes a game and can really contribute. Drew Smith, another guy, was playing great for the Heat last year. Everybody was really happy with him. Unfortunately, got hurt again. So the big question with Drew Smith is, can he come back from another injury? Will he play well again? Another guy with an interesting place in his career. And then, of course, lastly, the great Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier, obviously he's got the whole gambling investigation that's been dragging on. Started off kind of okay for the Heat when he got traded, and then he got that neck injury, and then was just absolutely abysmal last year. Looked like he forgot how to play basketball, and his career is kind of on the line, because if he doesn't have a good season this year, he's probably going to have to retire or go play overseas. So Terry, another one in a very interesting position. So my point is, with talking about each individual player here, is that everybody is kind of in a very unique position in their career. So almost everyone on this team kind of has something to prove. And since everybody has something to prove, how will that all come together? It's just a really interesting roster that I think can have a lot of like flexibility with. I have no idea who should start. Everybody's throwing around all different ideas, and they all sound good, and there's pros and cons to each starting lineup. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. And they're in a place where it's like, look, you know that you're not really going to be competing for a championship. So there's a certain freedom going into this season where the expectations are kind of low.
and no one's really paying attention to you. It's very liberating. Call me crazy, but I think this Heat team can, if they get it together and they figure out the dynamic of this team and who's going to start and what the rotations are, and everybody stays healthy and everybody plays to their potential, I think they could have a kind of a fun, interesting season. And then after the season, or maybe halfway through, if there's a big opportunity for a trade, you got to figure out, okay, who's playing well, who's not playing well, who fits in, who doesn't fit in. And maybe you'll have enough interesting pieces to where you can make a big trade for a 1A player. I don't know. We'll see. Well, that's it. I rambled way too much, as always. What do you guys think? Am I being too delusional? Am I not being delusional enough? Do you guys think that the Heat maybe could finish in 3rd or 4th place? Or are you so down on this team that you think they're going to barely make the play-in? Or is it kind of safe to say that, yeah, like it's not too crazy to think that they might finish in 6th place? Because, like I said, it could be Knicks, Cavs, and then somewhere with the Magic, Pistons, Hawks, and then the Heat. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think.